Welcome to the Disaster Trade Podcast, the podcast helping you develop Forex trading skills for more freedom. I'm your host, it's Kret. Let's get started right away. Hey everyone, so today I'm sitting down with Pavel from FTMO. We connected a few months, I want to say a few years, but it's been a while we connected, and we want to bring him back to discuss a few things about FTMO and prop firms, things that change, things that are new, and kind of that aspect of it all. So how's it going, Pavel, today?
Hi, Etienne. Such a great pleasure being here with you on the interview. So thank you so much.
So I'm not sure when we talked last time, but tell me a bit about what has changed in terms of FTMO since we last spoke.
Last time we spoke, I believe it was when you were our guest on the interview as well. But before, you had an interview with our CEO, Otakar, as well, which I believe was around 2 years ago. So a lot of things have changed since then. So, we recently just launched payments in cryptocurrencies, which is such a challenging thing, seeing how blockchain technology works in real, and also another thing is, despite this summer break that's currently on, we actually scoring a new statistical record. So when it comes to performance of our traders, so that is absolutely insane. So we've had, like, in the month of July, we've had almost 1.8 million of dollars in payouts from the USD dollars accounts only. And we've had one single payout on the USD account also, which was around like $100,000. So that was absolutely awesome. And the website has recently gone through the redesign. Some technical background is super robust as well. Our IT team has improved our infrastructure massively. And just recently, we've launched the FTMO Startup Fund. So that's a fund where we're looking for people from the trading sphere, whoever can, offer something that could improve infrastructure or some bright idea. So we're looking for people to come forward, and we would fund them.
Awesome. So maybe we should just talk about the company you work with a little bit. I know most people are aware of it and how it works, but if people are not really aware, can you explain what you do at FTMO and kind of what you help traders with exactly?
Absolutely. FTMO, we are the online proprietary trading firm. So what we do is we are testing traders through our evaluation process. We're calling it an evaluation course or evaluation process, where traders basically have to come forward and show us their trading skills, their trading habits. So if we ascertain that traders have skills and abilities to manage risk and to trade responsibly and with consistency in mind, then we escalate them. We basically advance all these traders to manage their FTMO account. We're calling it FTMO account, but broadly that's something that's being termed as funded account, but we don't use this term because the appropriate is FTMO account. And we basically allow traders to manage that portion of balance, of the account balance, right? So when somebody has $100,000, for instance, to trade with, or we have $200,000 account size as well, right? Then we have a scaling plan as well, and traders can basically trade meaningfully. So when someone is trading their own personal account, which is usually small because they don't want to risk their own money, that brings a lot of challenges to traders, a lot of psychological pressures and a lot of discipline issues as well. Whereas if they have, everything in place when it comes to, for example, FTMO, right? So we provide traders with a platform, we give them all the conditions and sort of, we call them trading objectives, the rules where basically they have to follow certain criteria in order for us to see if the trader has all the skills required to manage bigger account size. And later on, when traders perform on the FTMO account, we split the profit. So currently, there's a profit split which is 70-30, might change as well. We're planning to do some innovation when it comes to this as well. But traders are enjoying and massively benefiting on trading somebody else's money. That is the core of what we do and how we run our business here at FTMO.
Great. So to my knowledge, you're probably one of the first prop firms that were kind of online, the first one that people start to go with. And that's really when I started to kind of know more about online prop firms that you could get funded account with. Since then, though, a lot of prop firms kind of popped out. Now there's a lot of them everywhere. What do you think makes FTMO sort of better, and what do you think it makes it still the kind of leader in prop firms right now, even though there's a lot of them out there?
Yeah, you're right, Etienne. That's the fact. We are aware that we have inspired a lot of other companies who popped up, and tried to replicate our business model. And nothing wrong with that. We think that the healthy competition is, after all, good for a trader, right? So in any ways, no other two prop firms are the same. And the more choice there is, that's even better for a trader, right? But we don't pay that much of attention to what the competition is doing, but we rather push ourselves to further develop ourselves, our projects, so that the public can see FTMO as the most advanced and robust and trusted prop firm in this industry, right? And so far, we're extremely happy that they do so. And for us, it's like an instant gratification of our hard work. So we are the prop firm. We see ourselves being the best prop firm, online prop firm currently in the world. And others might just be e-commerce companies, but we really are a prop firm, and the way we operate is just outstanding. We also see how disruptive we are here in this industry, because a couple of years ago, it used to be that traders were looking for retail brokers, looking where they trade their own money, right? But these days, a lot of traders are really focused on what is the best proprietary trading firm where they can manage money of somebody else so that day trading is meaningful.
Are you able to share any kind of data on how many funded traders you have in the platform now?
I can't share this kind of data, but I can tell you, for example, some interesting statistics. For example, our evaluation course, we've recently got some stats from the system. So our evaluation course, which consists of two stages, which is the challenge and verification. So we have massively improved the challenge success rate from 8% to around 17% on average. So it really shows, that this evaluation course and the trading objectives which are in place really make a lot of sense, because it teaches traders to behave properly, to have a risk management mindset when they trade, and they shouldn't, of course, go across the line when it comes to any of our rules. And also, the other thing is we observe that traders who manage bigger account sizes, which is usually $200,000 or more, are generally more responsible and serious about their risk management. So their success rate is much higher compared to traders having smaller accounts. So we have consistent traders too. One of our traders had eight payouts in a row so far, and 15 payouts in total, and that was from 2 individual accounts. So that's also an interesting stat.
Pretty cool for sure. So yeah, you have some traders who I know who are trading close to full-time or full-time with FTMO, which is a good thing for sure. And that's definitely good to hear. So the evaluation course is something people take before they do the evaluation, and it's kind of to help them take the evaluation properly, right? And pass the evaluation. Is that right?
Exactly, absolutely.
Cool, awesome. So tell me about some of the new features or some of the new kind of rules or changes you've made to FTMO in the past, let's say, year or so.
Right. So in the past 1 year or so, we've changed our rules. We've simplified rules for traders to have that in a piece when it comes to trading. So the simplification was, for example, we removed 50% positive days rules. We've had it earlier in the challenge verification, and we no longer have that rule, right? So traders don't need to bother about it. Also, another removal was when it comes to 10 trading days requirement. Earlier, we wanted traders to trade minimum of 10 trading days on their FTMO accounts, which is no longer there, right? Because when we get traders who advance all the way to this stage, we don't want them to be stressed out and to have to trade unnecessarily if it doesn't fall within their trading plan, for example. Another thing is we've introduced swing accounts, which is great for swing traders. So they have absolutely no restrictions when it comes to trading news events, macroeconomic announcements, or just holding trades overnight or over the weekend, right? So all of this is allowed now. We have great technical background behind this. So execution things and all these sort of issues are pretty much non-existent anymore, right? So also we have expedited our payouts. It really used to be like payout took a couple of days until a week. These days, it takes just 1 to 2 business days until they receive their payout to their account, of course, depending on the withdrawal channel, right? Another thing we've improved our trading conditions. So when it comes to spreads or commissions and choice of assets, right? We offer stocks. Not many prop firms out there offer stocks for their traders. A lot of indices as well, cryptocurrencies. So this choice is still there, right? Another great thing is our customer support, which runs 24/7, and traders can contact us through live chat at any time of the week, right? And we are capable to communicate with our traders in 14 global languages, and that's just awesome. Traders really love that. Our customer support is quite busy. Traders interact with us a lot. And we have a growing team of performance coaches as well. So we started with one performance coach. The demand is really that high that now we have introduced second performance coach, and we'll probably have a third one as well for our traders. So that's a great piece of puzzle that traders really need to pay attention to. Trading psychology is extremely important.
Pretty cool. So how do you allocate this kind of time with the performance coaches? Is it based on people who need it or people who are trading more and more money kind of have access to it? How does that work?
That is a service which is available to all our FTMO traders. So whoever passes the evaluation course and they have their FTMO account, so we have a complimentary session for everyone, right? We never know who might need it at what stage in their trading. So there's a schedule. Every of our trader will have a schedule accessible to them from the client area, and they can take the session with a performance coach. And the good thing is we have a performance coaches in 2 different time zones in the world, right? So when there's the Asian session, we have a performance coach who's available for our traders there. And when during the European session here in Europe, we have a trading performance coach here as well for those traders, right? We like to have one for our American clients and traders in Canada as well, but that's still pending.
Awesome. Yeah, and definitely what I tell people often is to kind of try to make their broker their partner in the sense that they need to have some help from the broker when things happen. Like you never know, a platform could crash, things could come up, and I think you having that kind of support, even though you're not like a broker, but you still kind of how people trade if they are funded by you. I think that's a really really good move. I think it's something that people can really value and benefit from for sure.
I couldn't agree more. You know how important it is when traders have something on stake, right? They have their position open and they cannot manage it for whatever reason. Might be the infrastructure problem on their end or perhaps on our end. So having the support team available 24/7 for anyone is crucial, right? Live chat, phone calls, email, WhatsApp as well, Facebook Messenger, all these channels are open for our traders. So if they entertain any issue or any problem, they can get in touch with us at any time. That's super important.
I'm curious to hear. Do you know what would be some of the obstacles that people who fail to get funded with FDM or people who are trying to do it? What are some of the obstacles they face into getting the financing and really getting consistent results?
Right. Well, I would say perhaps, their trading setup. Sometimes it's a trading setup, and not always the trading setup works all of the time, right? So markets don't know your trading setup. So if you think your strategy is useless, if it temporarily doesn't perform as you anticipated, perhaps your backtesting wasn't that good, or perhaps the markets are currently going through the phase which doesn't fit your trading style. So you as a trader, you should adapt yourself or just stand aside, look for the market opportunities to be the sign to represent that period of time when you backtested your strategy and when you know that, you're in your zone.
Interesting. And I had some people who would try to take challenges with either your prop firms or other firms as well. What comes up is they might have some really good results in the back desk, but when they get to trade it live, either because of the pressure, because of different things, because it's a bad month for the strategy or some reason, then they fail the challenge. What would you suggest those people to kind of work on before they take the challenge again?
Risk management. Definitely risk management. One of the biggest problems of beginner traders is that they either do not understand what risk management really is, or they just cannot respect it. So very often we see traders take the challenge and trade it, unfortunately violating the rules without even understanding that rule in the first place, right? So there are very few basic rules that everyone has to learn before they have to embark on this journey to trade their TMO account, right? So learning how maximum daily loss or maximum loss works is absolutely crucial. That's the core of a risk management. Everyone has to understand it. If they don't, they probably are not serious enough to be in this.
Yeah. And how do you see traders deal with the mindset of getting more capital? Because they start with literally like $10,000 and they move to different capital level. Do they have a hard time to adjust to that, or is it pretty easy for them to adjust these bigger numbers?
I wouldn't really generalize it because there are some traders who are perfectly comfortable with that. And on the other hand, there are people who are stressed when they manage bigger accounts, right? So it really depends on from trader to trader. as I said, somebody doesn't really want to waste their time trading $10,000 account size. They prefer to have 200,000 and more when it comes to our scaling plan, or more accounts at the same time. So that is possible, of course. There are traders who prefer to rather be, humble and not to go overboard, because the big numbers stress them. That we see both of these kinds of traders.
One thing I'll kind of be curious to know, and you might have data on this, but do you feel like people who aim for bigger challenge the first time, like a $200,000 or something, have a better chance of passing, or a bigger chance of failing because they aim too high at first, or it doesn't have any impact on it?
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. And the statistics really give us the numbers here, right? So we've seen that average success rate is higher for those traders who trade bigger account sizes. So really, everybody who goes through the evaluation course, they have to pay the fee upfront, which is refundable in the end. But still, having something in the game makes their psychology work, right? So they don't want to lose the fee at the first place. So traders who trade bigger account sizes usually respect that account more. They are more responsible, and statistics really show that their success rate is 19% for $200,000 on average passing the challenge. So that really, the numbers speak themselves.
For the bigger accounts, which is insane, because I would have thought
Yes,
that people would
yes.
pass the lower ones more easily.
Not quite so.
Interesting.
The bigger the better for traders.
Interesting. Yeah, I can understand in the sense that it gives you motivation. At the same time, you add pressure to it. So I'm really surprised about this task, but that's good to know. Really interesting. Are there any kind of topics we didn't focus on, or we didn't talk about that you like to mention or talk a little bit about?
Perhaps something with regards to backtesting, right? So traders do a lot of backtesting. First thing first, the most crucial and important thing is to have a good piece of data, right? Traders really have to have a quality data. When they get something online, sometimes for free, that's not really a good data. So there are companies out there are services which provide really good quality data, thick data, with a long history for backtesting for trading systems, right? So if traders properly backtest their trading system, they have to believe to it, right? They have to believe in that backtesting to a degree, that no short-term drawdowns will make them decide or abandon that, right? So once they have the core data out, everything is, on the result, on the performance, they have to stick to that, and they have to believe in it, even though the markets currently are not going to the phase which, they'd like to.
Yeah, and that's a good point. You could have a bad period even if you backtest a lot of your strategy, but the chances of having it are low if you know the stats before that. But the bad thing is
Absolutely.
arriving at your challenge and not knowing the stats, and going through a normal drawdown that you didn't know would be possible.
Yeah. And also, what we've noticed is that during the pandemic, past 1 year or more, right? So a lot of traders who were finally having time for their trading, right? They really focused, and a lot of traders took it seriously. Many of them, tweaked out their strategies, and they came up with a good trading plan. And many of them really succeeded. So we've seen that influx of traders, from past year when the first wave of coronavirus hit the world, right? So a lot of traders came on board. A lot of them, were so serious about it. They took account after account, and they succeeded. Many of them really got to where they needed to be. So even though the pandemic wasn't really good for the global situation and for helped traders, traders were home. They had a lot of time to focus on their trading. So we have really seen that this helped our industry here.
Yeah, it's kind of like when your back is against the wall, you put more effort into it. That could be it, or just the time at home. That could be a good point as well. But this
Yes.
is good to know. I'm really surprised about these stats. So good to
Yeah.
have you here and mention these things for sure. So where can people find you if they want to connect with FCMO or they want to try out on one of your challenges?
See, we are available on all social media channels. So if anybody wants to follow us, they can just go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere. They can contact us through our live chat 24/7. If they just go to ftmo.com, top bottom corner for the live chat, or just email us at support@ftmo.com. And WhatsApp also is the option. They can call us at any time. So all these channels are open.
Awesome. I think we should have a promo code for you. So we'll leave a link below the video or in the podcast show note with a promo for FTMO. The way this works is you got to go to the link, you got to fill in your application form, and when you get to that page for signing up, you'll be getting a discount there automatically. You can just use that link. And I think that's good to kind of get a special discount on the challenge and also encourage us with the channel and the podcast. So definitely recommend it. We know many traders have been funded by FTMO before who are trading full time or close to it with them now. So that's a good thing. And definitely one of the most legit platforms out there that hasn't really been kind of changed or beat by other platforms so far. So you're doing a really good job at it. I'm sure Pavel and all the guys on your team. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time, and we'll catch you guys pretty soon.